Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm hungry.
Are you? Well, good. Because I'm away to cook.
Yay.
Ta-da! Do you know what I'm cooking tonight?
Yeah, we don't need to mention it, do we?
Mm,
Better, just in case.
we should do. So I'm going to make gluten free cheese scones. Now this recipe will be fine for... We're using regular flour, so I've got a recipe written down, believe it or not, because it's baking. If you want it to be vegan, I don't know how you substitute eggs, I'll be honest. But if you want it to be vegan, you could use a vegan alternative to cheese and butter, but that's up to you. If you want to use regular flour, that by all means, just omit the xanthan gum. So,
It's better.
Dillygaff. So, first thing you need to do is get a baking sheet and put your oven on to 200 degrees Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit.
I think it's 400, isn't it?
No, it's
Slightly under.
It's something like that, or 220 for a non-fan oven like we've got. So that's the first thing you need to do. So if you want to zoom in on here, I shall read out the ingredients, and this is what you shall need. You need 250 grams of gluten-free self-raising flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum, but not if you're doing regular and not gluten-free, 1 teaspoon of gluten-free baking powder, 50 grams of caster sugar. If you're doing savoury scones, don't put sugar in, 40 grams of cold butter, cubed or grated, 75 millilitres of whole milk. If you're measuring cups or measuring jug doesn't go as low as 75 millilitres, weight to about 80 grams. 1 large egg plus 1 egg yolk, and roughly 50 grams of grated hard cheese, although you can pretty much put in what you like. So the first thing you need to do is measure out your ingredients. I've already done this, so I've got my gluten-free flour in here. I don't have table salt, so I'm going to have a guess at a teaspoon. Also, this is sea salt, so you can't really over season. So when you're measuring a teaspoon, it does normally mean a level teaspoon. So that's my baking powder, and the same with the xanthan gum, although I've never made gluten free, so I'm just going to make this a rounded one because it won't do any harm.
Have you baked with xanthan gum before?
Never in my life.
What does it do?
It binds, it works as a thickener. It binds flour that doesn't have gluten in it, I believe. For a little bit of flavour, I'm going to put in a level teaspoon of smoked paprika. I don't want to put too much in and overpower it. You could put cayenne pepper in instead. Cayenne pepper always goes well with cheese. Nice savoury taste. So,
I like the way you say cheese.
cheese. So you want just a regular blunt table knife to stir all this together, and you'll see that the flour starts to colour. Now, I've already weighed out my butter, and I'm going to grate it because I feel that it's quicker. So you want your butter cold, so either straight from the fridge or even better the freezer. But you've got to be quick when you're grating it or it'll melt, and then you've got less butter to work with. Okay. Just going to wash my hands there and get all this butter out of here. Now don't put your grater away because you'll need it for grating your cheese. cut the butter into the flour. Making sure that it all gets incorporated. And then, with a dry hand, or two dry hands, using only your fingertips, get your fingers in and rub the butter together. So rub it in your fingertips like that until you get fine breadcrumbs. So do this with all of it, and every now and again just shake the dish, and the butter that's not been mixed should come to the top. So we'll come back once I've done that. Right, once you've got your fat folded into your flour, you then need to grate in your cheese. So I'm going to use some grated Parmesan.
So it doesn't have to be cheddar?
No, it could be any cheese you like.
Well,
you wouldn't want to use that cheese. Unless you pick the fluff out of it. So grate in your hard cheese. The stronger the flavour, obviously, the more pronounced it will be.
what kind of cheese is that?
That is a soft ewe's milk cheese.
Yeah.
So. And then once you've done that, just lightly flick it in through the mix. Don't rub it in like you've rubbed in the fat and flour mix. So I mean, you can sift it through your fingers, but don't rub it. Oh, wee fact about scones. Did you know that Scone was the ancient capital of Scotland?
I think that was Scone. Pretty sure it was Scone.
I think you might be right. Am I speaking rubbish?
Scone Palace is where they host Rewind Festival.
Oh, is that the one that people of our generation would go to? Right, so once you've got that cheese folded in, you want to make a wee well in the middle by gently pushing up some of the flour at the side, and you want to beat your egg. I'm going to do this over the sink so I don't get flour everywhere. And add my milk. Now, seeing as this is cheese scones, another thing that goes really well with cheese is Worcestershire sauce, but I've got this Henderson's relish, which is similar. So, as much as you like of that, not too much, really. It's up to yourself, but you don't want to have grey looking scones, and also you don't really want to overpower the flavour of cheese.
If you put mustard in it.
You could put mustard powder. I wouldn't put mustard. So, golden rule, only add about half of that mixture.
Why?
Because if it's too much liquid, because let's face it, every egg is different. If it's too much liquid, you've then got a wet dough. Because it's always easier to add more liquid than it is to add more flour. So just mix it with a knife. When you're making scones, it's different to bread. You really don't want to over mix this. So again, just a wee sup. For those of you not from Scotland, a sup is an exact measurement. A wee sup is a smaller exact measurement, amounting to a bit less than a moofie. Okay, so that's coming together all over the bench. So again, add it gently. And by using the knife, you're not getting your hands all dirty at this stage, although you will do. it is just starting to come together. I mean, you might even need more liquid than what the recipe says. All depends on, you know, there's all different brands of gluten-free flour, there's all different brands of regular flour. You know, every mill is different. But I reckon with this mix though, it's pretty much going to take all of that, so it's worked out not too bad. So, you want it to be a fairly sticky dough, but a dough that'll clean the side of the bowl. So I'm going to mix this for 2-3 minutes. I'm going to tidy up my work surface. Look at your cutter, so you want maybe, what's that, about 5 centimeters, 3 inches, 3-inch cutter. I'm using fluted, you don't need to use fluted, but leave your flour out and put everything else away. Right, see you in a moment. Right, so once your dough's mixed, and again, not mixed too much, as you can see it's kind of just cleaning the bowl and no more. So sprinkle a little flour on the work surface, spread it about, and while you're at it, do it over here so you don't get flour over there. Sprinkle a little bit of flour on your baking sheet, just so that the scones won't stick to the bottom of it. Right. Now you don't need a rolling pin for this. Literally just flatten it to about 1 inch thick, just under 1 inch thick. Depends how thick you want the scones really. And then dip your cutter and tap off the excess into the flour. Now, when you cut scones, never twist the dough or they won't rise straight. So straight down and lift.
That's a good tip.
Straight down and lift. Straight down and lift. So with this excess, again, you don't want to knead it too much, so just get it together, get it around, because every time you're kneading it with flour on the board, you're adding more flour. So 1, gets more awkward the further you go on. You could do smaller scones if you wanted. It's just the cutter that we had. So straight down, and for the last one you pretty much put the cutter down, press the scone in, and this will be your tester, because you always need to test them when you come out of the oven. Just push it through, just make sure, and just give it a wee little bit of waste, but not too much. See, that's broken, but that doesn't matter. So the best thing to do now is to leave your scones for 10 minutes just to rest. You could put them in the fridge to rest if you want, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to leave them there for 10 minutes. And you'll need another small amount of milk, or if you want, an egg yolk. So I'll come back once I've gotten that stuff all together. Right, so I've got an egg yolk and just what was left of the milk in there. Now, to get an extra shiny glaze, more salt. You actually want it really quite salty. don't know why this works, but it does. So, good bit of salt in there. I dare say, since they're savoury, we could put in some pepper. Give it a really good mix. And you should feel that it gets slightly thicker as you do that, and the egg yolk gets slightly more opaque. Right, so it's important when you brush in the egg wash or milk or whatever you're putting on there, it's important you don't get down the sides or they won't go evenly. So you've got to be very gentle when you're putting this on. You don't want to be OTT, literally over the top. I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably grate some more cheese on the top. But I'm just not doing that because I've got no more cheese left. Although I'm surprised because I just did a Joe Wick workout and I've not had any shower.
I was thinking it, you said it.
Mm-hmm. Right, so you glaze them. I might as well give this a little bit of dough glaze. I don't want to leave it out. Leave it out. Nice hot oven, middle shelf. Never done this with gluten-free flour before, so spectacles, testicles, wallet and watch. Into the hot oven, which shouldn't have a flipping tray in the middle shelf. Put it in there and there should be 20 minutes. So use your 20 minutes to tidy up and enjoy a beer. Right, after 20 minutes, might be sooner. Everybody's oven's different. You're looking around 15 to 20 minutes. Turn the oven off. Let the heat out. Check your scones and pray that they've worked. Ooh. Well, they look not too bad. So if you've got a cooling wire rack, you would put them on there. I do not have one in my possession.
There's one in the grill.
Oh, too late now. Just put this back in the oven since I don't have space. You can cool them down and eat them. I'm gonna check one for size. So we're cooked all the way through. It should be light. Oh, that's pretty good. I expected they would be pretty rubbish.
Why?
Because gluten free. There we go. I'm just going to have this with some soup. They're pretty good.
Nice.
Of course, we'd have real butter. Hey ho. Anyway, I'm going to do a couple of extra things for what I'm having, but other than that, gluten free cheese scones. Happy crappy cooking. So, what was your verdict?
Fantastic.
That's the first time I've had a gluten free scone. They were
Same.
pretty good. Could be a bit moister in the middle, but can't complain. Really tasty and crumblier than a regular scone. Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy crappy cooking.